Okay.
Thank you, Larry. And once again, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Economic and Community Development Committee of the Common Council. We'll start this meeting off by calling it to order at 6:02 p.m. And I'm going to do a roll call. I'm just going to ask you to vocalize or raise your hand to signify you are here. Miss Smith. I know she'll be joining us shortly, I believe. She is looking for the email.
I see her there. I see her.
Oh, is she there? Barbara, you there? Now we'll get back to her. Ms. Shanahan?
I'm here.
Great. Mr. Livingston? I see
Here.
you're also here. Mr. Hubelman is here with us as well. Ms. Smith, are you there? Can you hear us? If you can, chime in later. Ms. Young? I think she'll be. Oh, you're there? Great.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
a different Young. That's Maggie Young, not
Okay.
Darlene.
Is Ms.
Sorry.
Darlene Young here? Oh, there's Ms. Smith. Great.
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
No problem. And
Hi,
I believe Darlene will be joining us in a little bit. And if I see her, I will let the stenographer know. And my name is Mr. Kites, and I am the chairman of the committee. And am I missing anyone? I believe that's it, correct? One, two. Else? No. Okay. All right, great. And now we will open it up to public participation. I know many of you here for CDBG. You'll have your time to speak at that time. So is there anyone here that would like to speak on any other item on the agenda or CDBG if you were not a presenter? Larry, is there anyone signed up?
I do not see anyone. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand electronically now. I do not see anyone, no.
Okay. I just got a text. Ms. Young is with us, so let the record show she has joined the meeting. And so we will close public participation, move on a little housekeeping with the administration, item 1A, and that's the approval of the minutes of January 5th, 2023. Would someone like to move that? Thank you, Mr. Livingston. Okay, before I call for a vote, any changes, omissions, deletions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand to signify yes. And that looks to be unanimous. Great. Okay, let's get to what most of you are here for, and that's item 2A, Redevelopment Agency Community Development Block Grant Review and Presentation of CDBG Applications. We have Mr. Stephen Ivan with us tonight, who will be counting down. If when I call your name, I have a list here in front of me that I was provided. When I call the agency, if you don't mind, just telling the group your name, and if you could please keep your presentation in to under 3 minutes. And like I said, Mr. Stephen Ivan will be keeping time and let you know at 30 seconds that you're at that time, and you have 30 seconds left. Committee members, feel free to jump in during that 3 minutes. Obviously, we'll extend that limit, that person's 3 minutes if someone chimes in. I know sometimes you have a question, you need to ask it, feel free. Just vocalize that to me and I will pass it on to you. And after that 3 minutes, if no questions, then we'll obviously open it up, and any committee member that has a question, that'll be their time to ask. So, all right, so if everyone's clear, we will now get that started. And on my list first, I have the Carver Foundation.
Good evening and happy New Year's to everyone. My name is Clinton Hamilton, and I'm the CEO at Carver. On behalf of the board of directors, the staff, the youth and families we serve, I want to thank you for taking time out to hear our application. Over the years, the Carver has partnered with redevelopment with funding through the CDBG to take on a number of projects such as energy efficient boilers, new gym floor, new height adjust basketball hoops, new bleachers, and a new HVA system with most recently a new roof and a new reef front
Thank
end.
you. Lisa, Wilhelmina, Edna, Melanie, and Carol. These are just 4 of the 8 very low income.
Hello? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm good to go.
I thought you were tag teaming here. Okay.
Yeah. You know
Go
where
ahead,
that
Chris.
comes, that surprised me, but so today with our application, we seek funding to modernize our kitchen. And I said over the past few years, it's really been exciting to see not only our middle schoolers and high schoolers utilize this with the staff to learn healthy eating, meal preps, meals that they can take home and make with their families as well. So at times, I don't know who's more excited, the youth or me, because whether they go and cook it, they always searching for me to sample their dishes that they make. Our seniors are using it this year for their monthly bake sale, in which the funding goes towards their college tour, which takes place in April. As Carver continued to modernize his facility, we seek your support to help us continue to modernize this crucial, pivotal area. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Hamilton? No? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, number 2 is the Catholic Charities of Fairfield County.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Palacios, and I'm coming to you from Key West. I am the lead immigration counselor with Catholic Charities Immigration Services, and we are requesting $25,760 to support our expenses in serving Norwalk residents. Our Norwalk Immigration Services is currently the only program that provides immigration legal services to Norwalk residents. Our program offers a wide range of services, including legal representation, legal counseling, community education, and advocacy to help individuals and their families navigate the complex immigration system and achieve their goals. We understand that the immigration process can be very stressful and overwhelming and constantly changing. So we are committed to providing our services in a compassionate and non-judgmental manner. As an immigrant myself who came to Norwalk at the age of 6, I have firsthand experience of how difficult it was for my parents to navigate the complex immigration system and how many times they were taken advantage of. Because of that, I am very happy to work with an agency that is committed to serving all, regardless of faith and background. We also value the importance of education and outreach, and we work closely with community organizations to provide information and support to individuals and families in need. We have worked actually with many of the organizations that are currently on this call, providing immigration legal services to their clients. Though I'm not an attorney, I do have 6 years of training and experience, and I am currently accredited by the Department of Justice to provide immigration services. And one of the great advantages of being accredited by the Department of Justice is that we can provide immigration services at a low cost, way lower cost than any attorney. And I'm sure you have all heard stories of clients and friends or residents that have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to obtain an immigration benefit. So in being accredited by the Department of Justice, we are able to provide these services at a low cost. That's basically it. We are very happy to be considered for this grant. I hope that I can answer any questions that you may have, and I look forward to working with you guys and continue to work for Norwalk residents. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have a quick question, Maria. So I guess the brunt of this funding, if received, will be going to staff to help facilitate these this legal help.
Yes, partly, but we mainly are requesting the funds to cover some of the fees. So we get a lot of Norwalk residents that come to our services but can't afford a consultation fee or paying for certain processes to apply for their citizenship or their green card. And so we're hoping to get this funding to cover some of our losses from providing the service to the client.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Any questions from the committee? Okay.
I tried to
Thank
stay
you.
under 3 minutes. I hope that
No,
worked.
you did great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Now, next up, number 3, and that's the Connecticut Institute for Communities. Do we have anyone here from the Connecticut Institute for Communities? Oh, you can unmute yourself. Thank you.
Good evening, Jim Maloney, representing the Connecticut Institute for Communities. As I suspect you know, we operate the Head Start program in Norwalk. We have now for a number of years. We have two facilities, one of which is located at the Franklin School, the old Franklin School. And it's located in the ground floor of that facility. The money we are requesting, which obviously will be matching 1-for-1, will allow for some very badly needed facility improvements, including security. The entranceways are not secure in any kind of modern way. That will all be upgraded. There'll be some additional bathrooms installed. The bottom line here is that the facility will be much more secure than it is currently. Currently, also, the classrooms, we share that space with growing seats, and the classrooms are kind of in a red and black checkerboard where their classrooms and our classrooms are intermixed. That creates a security problem because you're never sure if someone's walking down the corridor, who is that? Why are they here? So we would separate those two so that the classrooms of the two facilities would be all contiguous. And then in addition, by adding the bathrooms, it makes it possible to open infant and toddler classrooms. Right now, we operate infant and toddler classrooms at our other facility, which is the Ely School, former Ely School, but not at Franklin. And by installing these bathrooms, we will be able, with growing seeds, to offer an infant and toddler program, which is badly needed, not only in Norwalk, but frankly, everywhere around the country, certainly in Connecticut. So that's it in very summary form, and I am delighted to answer any questions you may have.
Yeah, quick question. I see that you're requesting half of what the total cost of the project. Do you have the funding, the matching funding?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. The matching funding would come from other grants, including predominantly a federal grant from the Head Start program.
Great. Mr. Livingston.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a city building. Have you been working with Alan Lowe or building management to discuss the proposed renovations?
Yes, we have. And we've done, by the way, we've done an almost identical project to a slightly smaller scale, which we financed ourselves at the Ely Center. And they're very familiar with what we are attempting to do. And I would invite you to come to the Ely Center and take a look at what we've done, because that's exactly what we're proposing. In addition to these new bathrooms and the early childhood classrooms at Franklin.
You know, I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that the city folks are all on board with what you're proposing.
We have not, Mr. Livingston, we have not given them final plans because we don't have a final budget. But we, of course, would need a city building permit. We would need city approval, et cetera, et cetera. But conceptually, we have done that. But the final plans await final budget approval.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I was muted. Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Maloney.
Thank you, sir.
Next up at number 4, and that's Domestic Violence Crisis Center.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tamara Pardo, and I am the Director of Communications for the Domestic Violence Crisis Center. For those of you who do not know of our agency, we are the state-certified provider of domestic violence services serving Norwalk, Stamford, Darien, New Canaan, Westport, Wilton, and Weston. We provide counseling for adults and children, 24-hour crisis intervention through our hotline and our 2 safe houses, one in Norwalk and one in Stamford. That's what I'm going to be talking to you about tonight. We also have legal advocacy, housing and financial sustainability services, and prevention education. All of our services are free and confidential. They're multilingual and multicultural. We respectfully requesting $16,705 to repaint our Norwalk Safe House, the exterior, and also to replace some of the rotted and damaged wood trim and siding. We purchased the facility, this house, in 1992, and we have never painted it. So this is a much needed project. Just so you have a little bit of an idea of how many and whom we serve. Everyone who stays in that safe house is considered a Norwalk resident, and everyone who stays there is considered low income. Last year, we provided 4,657 bed nights to that through that facility, and we're thinking that this year we're projecting it will help 50 individuals. What you don't understand or see possibly from that is that it's 50 people that our safe houses have been over capacity, and people are staying in them for a lot longer than they were prior to COVID, partly because there isn't anywhere for them to move. So before the pandemic, people were staying on average about 19, 20 days, and now they're staying around 58 days. So this is really home to people, and it's important that we maintain the property. With that, I'll take any questions if anyone has any questions about the project.
Thank you, Ms. Barta.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, number 5, the East Norwalk Improvement Association.
John, if Sylvia's not here, she emailed me saying that she was trying to get in. So Larry, if Sylvia, I believe her last name's Archibald, is in the attendee list, can you please promote her?
Yes, I'm promoting her now. There also was someone, they had the name FITB something. It was FitB. I don't know if that was another.
Filling in the blanks.
Tina.
Yeah.
Oh, Tina is here.
Yep.
Okay. She was able to get in. All right. I'm trying to promote Sylvia, but I will just allow her to talk. Sylvia, if you unmute, you should be able to speak.
Join as a panel.
Yes, we can hear you. You're still muted, Sylvia.
How about now?
Yes, you're echoing. You must have more than one session. Can you close the other?
Okay.
Or mute? Thank you.
Is that better?
No.
I have one session open.
You must have a phone or an iPad or two devices.
Is this better?
Yes.
I don't see how, I actually don't see how I have one. I don't.
All right, so you sound pretty good right now, Sylvia.
Yes.
Okay. So first, I would like to say thank you to the committee for your past support. We have been able at the library to do much work for the Norwalk community since we have been recipients of this grant. For example, we have done literacy programs, robotic camps, music and art programs, and live plays. That's just some of the programs that we have been to offer to the community, and all were well attended. We are excited to, that echo is getting to me too, I'm sorry. We are excited to have the opportunity and hope to apply and hopefully receive another award for the 2024 period. We're asking for $9,000 so that we are able to continue our work for the community. We want to host more literacy programs with a concentration on preschool and elementary schools. We want to expand our robotics program to include coding and learning new software such as Python. We also want to offer the STEM programming across more age groups. Right now we do middle schools, but we want to expand it to elementary schools also, children. Lastly, we want to continue to provide our family programs that the community has become to expect and to love. For instance, we have booked a live performance concert and a live action play, Pinocchio. These are just two of our upcoming offerings for the community. Ironically, because we have been fortunate over the past few years in our attempts of getting grants, the TTD, which is the organization that owns the charter for this library and also supports us with 70% of our fundraising, has decided for next year
30 seconds
to reverse an $11,000 match that was designated as an incentive to fundraise. So without your help, the library would not be able to truly follow through on our mission promise to educate and enlighten our community through educational programs. So that is why I'm here tonight and was panicking that I wasn't able to really Zoom Zoom properly.
Thank you, Ms. Archibald. Any questions? Okay, great. All right, thank you. All right, next up, number 6, Elder House.
Hello. Good evening. I am Denise Cesario. I'm the Executive Director of Elder House. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Hear you perfectly.
Thank you. You never know. Elder House is an accredited medical model adult day center and has been serving the Norwalk community for more than 45 years. Elder House serves frail older adults and their family caregivers. Our seniors are physically and cognitively compromised due to disease and advanced old age. Our clients have physical conditions due to stroke or Parkinson's, and they often have memory issues due to Alzheimer's or dementia. The seniors who attend Elder House would be at risk if left home alone. Risk of falling at home, risk of wandering outside the home, risk of leaving the stove on, risk of over-medicating themselves. They really do need supervision during the day. Elder House provides a full day of supervision and care services. And these services combined also help give respite to the family caregiver. Elder House is one that we believe is protecting one of our community's most vulnerable populations, the frail older adults. The average age at Elder House is 88 years old. Our request will enable Elder House to continue to enroll all seniors regardless of their ability to pay for support and the care that they need. The grant will help provide almost 5,600 hours of care and services. So we hope that you will continue to support us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Cesario. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, number 7, Family and Children's Agency.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christy Case, and I'm the Vice President of Strategy and Operational Effectiveness at Family and Children's Agency. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and speak with you all this evening. As many of you may know, FCA is a large human service provider in the Norwalk community, and in fact, we're one of the largest in Fairfield County. We have a variety of services that meet the need of children, families, adults, and seniors through a wide number of programs, but today I'm here to talk more specifically about our behavioral health services. At FCA, we've provided outpatient behavioral health since the organization was incepted over 80 years ago. We were born out of the need for counseling in the community during World War II. And as we continue as a community to come out of the COVID-19 pandemic, we're all still continuing to see the need for mental health services. And I know many of my colleagues on the screen tonight would agree with that. So in our traditional outpatient programs, we provide individual and family counseling for children and adults. We have an APRN, a psychiatric APRN on staff who is full-time with FCA to provide medication and medication management to our clients. And we also work with a psychiatrist. A unique program to FCA is Project Reward, which is an addiction treatment program specifically designed for women who are beginning their recovery journey. And in providing gender-based treatment, we're able to provide a safe environment for these women to heal from the trauma that many of them have dealt with in their lives. The co-occurrence of trauma with women in addiction is incredibly high. And we also are able to address the mental health needs that they might be dealing with. As we've seen the need in the community rise, FCA has tried to meet that need, but we've been unable to do so at this point because although we're chipping away at our wait list, finding clinicians in this day and age is really challenging. During the pandemic, many folks who are licensed clinicians found that telehealth was a very lucrative career option for them. So now the rates and the salary rates that folks are asking are often very challenging for FCA and other clinics to compete with. So funding from CDBG would certainly allow us to make our rates more competitive so we can continue to add more clinicians on staff to meet the growing need in the community. And we're also looking to add groups. Group therapy wasn't something that was traditionally part of our outpatient behavioral health services, but we'd like to add that as a way to reach more folks and to increase the reach that we have to Norwalk residents. Just so you all know, on any given year, about 75% of the folks that we serve in behavioral health are Norwalk residents, and upwards of 80% of those are low income. And we would certainly make sure that the residents served by this grant were low income Norwalk residents. Thank you all for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Livingston.
No, thank you. Would this money go to serving any particular population or just generally for your needs?
So certainly for Norwalk residents and for residents who might not be able to pay co-pays or might not have insurance that would be able to be billed for this. We want to make sure that we're serving all folks who need the services. And again, going back to the rates that clinicians are seeking, it's even higher for those who are bilingual. And we know that there is a high need for bilingual clinicians on staff. So we'd like to earmark that for that need as well.
So it's regardless of age too. So
yes, absolutely.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
Anyone else? Thank you for that great presentation.
Thank you for your time.
Next up is number 8, filling in the blanks.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tina Kramer, and I am one of the co-founders of Filling in the Blanks. I'd like to thank the committee for your past support of the Filling in the Blanks program. For those of you who are unaware of us, we are a Norwalk-based organization started by Shawnee Knight and I in 2013. Our mission is to combat childhood hunger by providing children in need with meals on the weekend. Filling in the Blanks started with 50 kids at one school in Stamford, and now we're currently serving 4,300 children at 120 sites throughout Fairfield and Westchester counties. Our grant proposal this evening is for $51,716 to start school-based pantries at Norwalk and Brian McMahon high schools. Our program is in every Norwalk school, and we are providing, of those 4,300 kids, we're providing 1,455 food insecure children with weekend meal bags. But of those kids, only 5% are high school students. And we're finding that the high schoolers are adverse to taking the current meal bag program because it comes in a clear bag, which is supposed to fit in their backpack. But high schoolers have more things in their bags than the younger students. So what happens is they wind up holding the clear bag, and their friends and peers can see that they are receiving food assistance. So to further increase high school participation, we plan on moving over to a school-based pantry. And we make this decision with the school administration and the students themselves deciding that they would utilize the pantry rather than the weekend meal bag as it is. With the transition from the traditional meal program to the school-based pantry, it will allow students the power to choose which food they want to take home. It'll empower them to make their own decisions. And it will allow them to discreetly receive weekend meal bags because they'll be in drawstring bags instead of the clear plastic bags. There will also be hygiene products available at the pantry. We sent out surveys to both schools and the students overwhelmingly requested hygiene products in the pantry. The pantry will also function, well, it will function as an Instacart style pantry where students will receive a list of the available items on Monday and they have till Wednesday to fill out the form.
30 seconds.
Okay, and then on Wednesdays, another group of students led by their paras will help bag up the food for the students. And a Filling in the Blanks volunteer will come in on Fridays to discreetly distribute the bags. We plan on piloting the program with 50 students at Brian McMahon and 50 students at Norwalk High School. So our grant funding tonight will cover the costs for the new students and the additional costs for the existing students in our program. This school-based pantry will not only give kids struggling with food insecurity the nutrition they need, but physical, emotional, and social advancement. And as we know from our traditional weekend meal bag program, not only the child benefits, but the whole family does. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you. Any questions? Moving on to number 9, that's the higher education literacy professionals. Do we have anyone here?
Good evening. Good evening. Am I coming through clearly?
Little low on the volume.
How about this? Is this better?
I think that'll work. Please proceed.
All right. Thank you. All right. So my name is Tristan Fields. I'm the president of Help Inc. As you know, we're an organization dedicated to increasing college access to underrepresented groups of students. I appreciate everybody on the panel who has been part of the council before and has enabled us and voted for us to benefit from the grant. With that, we've been able to help students apply to college and get into colleges through our College Edge program. That includes giving them free SAT prep lessons and SAT practice, early college workshops on how to pick the right colleges, as well as one-on-one counseling and college tours. Our programming is offered absolutely free to students, so there are no barriers to our Norwalk community, and I'm really humbled with the kids that we attract and the families that we attract. A lot of our students don't have the resources to be able to hire private tutors to help them for the test, or they don't have the resources to be able to get these counselors or to go into these colleges on their own. So they really benefit from this program, and they are super busy. Right, they're part of sports teams. They work jobs. They support their families at home, and they still end up making time for their future. We are continuing to do this work because we know that in order to live a choice-filled life, you need to have options and skills. And college is one of the ways that builds those. We understand it's not the only way. We often partner with another organization that's here, YBI, that helps students develop businesses and business plans of their own in case that's not the pathway that they're going. But we want students to know that when they graduate high school, whether it's a trade, whether it's college, whether it's business, that they all three.
We lost you, Mr. Fields.
And the transportation costs to the colleges. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Livingston.
Yeah, thank you. Just wondered if you could talk a little bit about the number of students you've served and what your success rate has been in terms, if you measure success by college. I mean, how do you look at it?
Yeah, so typically we get about 20 students at a time in the fall, and about 10 to 20 more students in the spring. Some students stay with us through fall and spring. The targeted rate that I have is about 20. Those are usually the kids who stay with us from the fall and the spring and get the benefit from the full programming. We've been really lucky to have a very high success rate. All of the students do tend to go to college. About a third of our students go to either NCC or UConn Stanford because of how close they are, but the rest of our students tend to go to state, private, and a small percentage of our students go out of state because we know that's the most expensive, and they're able to find through our tour programs colleges within Connecticut that fit.
Great, thanks.
Seeing no other questions, we will now move on to number 10, home fronts.
Hi, everyone. This is Sean O'Brien. I'm the executive director of the Homefront program, and it's great to be with all of you again. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Great. So I know you guys aren't always able to get to see the impact of the work you make possible. I'll give you the names of Lisa, Wilhelmina, Edna, Melanie, and Carol. They're 5 of the 8 very low income Norwalkers we were able to help at no cost, in part thanks to this critical CDBG support. One's a young woman, a young family whose lives were turned upside down by a car accident. A son who with his wife moved back in with their mom to take better care of her. A single mom whose child has a disability. An 80-year-old who takes in her grandkids, and another who's a proud member of our Norwalk Chorale. It's on their behalf we want to thank Norwalk Redevelopment and this council. With last year's support, we were able to repair gutters, floors, porches, replace siding, doors, steps, railings, sinks and toilets, and weatherproofing basements, and cleaning up yards and adding fresh coats of paint inside and out for these folks. We've revitalized 623 homes in Norwalk over the years, and CDBG funds have played a huge role in that. Families I mentioned were assisted through our volunteer groups. We now have a volunteer repair blitz in the spring and fall, and volunteerism has always been really strong in the Norwalk area. But for the other months of the year, we just rolled out our Critical Pro Repair, or CPR effort. Think SWAT team meets home repair. With CPR, we have our construction skilled staff working with skilled volunteers to tackle more targeted things year round, like heating issues or wheelchair ramps or deck repairs. As a result of all this, we're now back to helping at pre-pandemic levels, but we have 55 requests for help in Norwalk this year. And our proposal is intended to increase our impact by funding 3 to 4 substantive volunteer team and CPR projects. The value is compounded about $25,000 in materials that we get donated and the contributed labor that we mobilize. We're just a staff of 2 full-timers and 3 part-timers. So we're very lean, but inflation has hit building materials pretty hard, and we don't want to reduce our service to folks or charge them for the help we give them. And so in addition to the life-changing repairs, we're also building awareness among the volunteers. And as Miss Edna said, one of our beneficiaries, the work fills me with peace and happiness, and it's just marvelous. So we think it's marvelous for you guys to consider us. And we thank you for that and hope to build on this positive momentum in Norwalk. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anybody? Well, thank you, Mr. O'Brien. I think this is the 10th time I've seen you. It's been a nice tradition.
Absolutely. Likewise. Thank you, guys.
Take care. Now moving on, number 11, Keystone House.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good
Thank
evening.
you for the opportunity to present our project to you tonight. My name is Kim Carter, and I'm the Development Officer at Keystone House. Keystone just celebrated our 50th anniversary, providing residential and psychosocial services to adults living with the challenges of mental illness. Our project is to replace the sanitary sewer line at one of our 3 group homes located on Genoa Street. After years of clogging, toilet backups, water damage, and costly repairs, we had a licensed plumber conduct a hydrojet snake video, which showed tree root penetration and pipe deterioration. Due to the severity of the damaged sewer pipes, we're at great risk of ruptures and leaks into the ground around our home and possible damage to surrounding homes. We consulted with a contractor specializing in this area of work and was recommended to remove and replace the sanitary sewer line from the property to the main line connection on Rome Street, which is about approximately 130 feet. We have been a past recipient of your support. We're very, very grateful, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now moving on to item number 12, Liberation Programs.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is Maggie Young, and I am representing Liberation Programs. Liberation Programs is a behavioral health agency throughout Lower Fairfield County, servicing individuals with substance use disorder. We also have a prevention program for youth and their families. And Families in Recovery specifically is the program that I'm going to be talking about, which is a program for pregnant and parenting women with their children. They come and live with us for anywhere from 90 days to 6 months with their baby. The goal of that program is to keep families together as opposed to having them divided. The proposal for our program is for the child care coordinator. We are asking $15,000 to support that role, child care coordinator, which assists with when moms go into their treatment groups, whether they have to go into individual counseling, all of their clinical services. This role, this person actually watch their babies right on site for them. When they need a mom break, they're able to also watch the babies for them and support them and help them with parenting skills and other life skills throughout their stay with us at Liberation Programs. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Young.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Chairman Cuddies,
Oh, yes.
just for transparency and to have it on the record, I am not related to Miss Maggie Young. In case you get, funded through this process, just want to be clear about that publicly. But good luck to you, Ms. Young.
I did say here when they called you Miss Young's name.
Yes, she did.
Oh, well, I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. On the record. Okay. Next page, 13, Malta House.
Hi, good evening. My name is Daniela Brando. I am the new Director of Development at Malta House. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity tonight to tell you about Malta House, and also thank you for your previous support when we were moving into our new facility, which we did about a year ago. This year, Malta House is celebrating 25 years of helping vulnerable young mothers who are experiencing homelessness. And for most of our mothers, Malta House is the last opportunity for a mom and baby to stay together before DCF or other agencies get involved. Malta House is the only transitional living program in the state of Connecticut where a mom and baby can live for long-term support and a hand up as they journey towards independence. Our moms are able to stay in our house for 18 months. And depending on the ability to find safe and stable housing that they can afford, sometimes that's longer. Malta House has 4 vital programs. The residential program houses 15 moms and their babies. And the program provides a nurturing home and support services, independent living skills to pregnant and parenting mothers. And our residents participate in education programs and receive guidance and life skills support geared at helping each woman become self-sufficient parents. The program is designed to help end chronic homelessness. 94% of our residents leave with safe and stable housing and employment. In our fiscal year 22, we had 27 moms and 29 babies call Malta House home. Another program we offer is childcare. We know without safe and nurturing childcare, moms are burdened with additional barriers in seeking employment and furthering education. So Malta House offers free childcare in our on-site nursery for our residents the entire time they're living with us. And when they graduate our program, they can continue bringing their babies for up to 6 months after they move into their own home. We have our graduate program, which serves our former residents upon completion of the residential program. While they transition to independent living, they need a lot of services, and all of the services they receive through our case managers and our program team are needs-based. Some need help paying bills, some need help understanding bills and leases or finalizing their education journey, and we help them through all of that. Currently, we have 39 mothers in our graduate program. Our community outreach program is a program where we
30
offer
seconds.
diapers, baby equipment, and clothing to over 200 families every Saturday. And since 1998, 700 mothers and babies have walked through our doors. We hope through CDBG that we can keep our doors open. We currently have 13 moms and 9 babies, and we're expecting 6 more, one of which mom is in labor tonight, and we had another baby earlier this morning. So thank you.
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. LaBranda.
Thank you.
Next up, 14, that's the Northeast Community Cycles.
Hi, everyone. My name's Phyllis Lodato Supa, and I'm the secretary for Northeast Community Cycles. We were established as a 501c3 in 2012, and we're a grassroots all-volunteer operation. I want to say that this is our first year applying for the CBCD grant. And I want to applaud all of you tonight because you sound so amazing. And I feel honored to be considered. Although it's not possible, I wish you could all get the support you need to continue helping the community. Let me explain to you our mission statement. It's a little out of the box. Northeast Community Cycles is a nonprofit community initiative dedicated to providing safe, refurbished bicycles free of charge to underprivileged children and adults in the Fairfield County area. Through improved mobility and self-empowerment, our bicycles can change lives forever by increasing access to employment, education, healthcare, and a healthier lifestyle. To give you an idea of some of our recipients, all of them are low income, but they would be refugees coming into the state, immigrant workers, veterans, people in drug rehab, men and women in homeless shelters, as well as boys and girls clubs. To date, we have given away over 7,000 bicycles with new helmets and locks. So this is our 10th year anniversary. We're currently supplying Norwalk with 5% of our yearly distribution. We would like to increase that to between 10 and 15%. So we're requesting $5,000. With this grant, it would allow us to expand our storage facilities, which will enable us, enable us to expand our operation, making more room for our mechanics. More mechanics mean more bicycles refurbished. More bicycles refurbished means more recipients served. The funds will also be used for additional helmets, locks, and other supplies. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be willing to answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, next up, number 15, that's the Norwalk Housing Authority.
Good evening. My name is Adam Glavilski, and I'm the Executive Director of the Norwalk Housing Authority.
I first want to thank all the committee members for their time this evening. We really do appreciate your service to our Norwalk community. The Norwalk Housing Authority serves over 2,000 low-income families between our public housing and Section 8 voucher program. We have an early childhood program, 4 learning centers embedded in our public housing developments, a scholarship program, and an economic self-sufficiency program based in our Envision Center. Of our public housing units, we have 7 senior developments, including 337 units for seniors. One of those developments is 20 West, which serves 54 senior families, mostly families of 1. We recently received a violation from the state for our elevator at 20 West. We need to replace a single bottom cylinder in the elevator. This is going to be an expensive, unexpected emergency repair, which we of course did not know about or plan for in our capital budget. We are requesting $51,700 and have the matching funds in place between our own capital budget and our operating budget. That match does not include the really substantial staff costs related to serving our families during the time the elevator will not be in use, which we estimate to cost around $28,000 or $29,000 in unionized employee services who will need to assist those tenants who cannot get in and out of the building without the elevator. Something we've done previously at our Leroy Downs development about 6 years ago when that elevator went out of service there. The Housing Authority has substantial experience with CDBG projects and a strong record of completing CDBG projects and other capital projects of all sizes.
Any questions for Adam? Mr. Livingston.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Adam, is the elevator working now?
Yes, yeah, it's in violation according to the state, but it is operating now. Yes.
And how many floors is the building?
It's 4 floors, depending on whether or not you count the first floor, which has very few residences, but it has one of our learning centers and community space. But yeah, 4 floors.
But these are seniors, right?
These are seniors. Some of them, do require the elevator to get up and down, which is why our staff will be on site. I think it's 24/7 during the time the elevator is out. Bringing things up and down especially for those seniors who cannot use the stairs to get in and out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Adam, for your time.
Thank you all.
Okay. Next up, number 16, Open Doors Shelter.
Hello, my name is Michelle Condorino. I am the Executive Director of Open Doors here in Norwalk. I think primarily people have known us as a homeless service provider, which we do. But the last few years, we have put tremendous effort into our homeless prevention efforts. And have been actually providing employment services since 2019. But in 2021, we opened the Financial Opportunity Center, which expanded on our employment services to include income benefits connection and workforce development connection and long-term financial coaching. Today, we are asking, though, for support for our ongoing employment services that we do. This is a free service offered to low-income earners or zero-income earners in the city of Norwalk, connecting them to gainful employment and workforce development opportunities that will put them on career-tracked employment. Over the last year, we employed or assisted to get employed 95 community members. And we have recently expanded our team from 1 to 3 to maximize our efforts, especially with the increasing cost of living in this area. People need assistance connecting to livable wage employment. So thank you very much for hearing our ask and considering this application.
Seeing no hands raised, I just want to thank you, Ms. Condorino, for your time. Okay. Next up is person to person.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ruta Paxtis. I'm the Development Officer for Grants at Person to Person. We're a 501c3 organization that has been serving Lower Fairfield County for 54 years. So our mission statement is to provide individuals and families with assistance for basic needs and overcome daily challenges and access to resources to improve their lives. Agency-wide P2P programs include critical needs assistance, gap-filling scholarships for low-income students, summer campusships, and we are the newest financial opportunity center in Fairfield County, serving Stanford. P2P served 8,400 Norwalk clients in fiscal year 2022. We're respectfully requesting $50,000 from CDBG as a public services grant to specifically benefit low-income Norwalk residents. So the funds would be used to support 3 full-time caseworkers who are part of our Critical Needs Assistance Program, which is also known as CNAP. CNAP provides 3 major services. One of them is emergency financial assistance, which helps people cover rent, utilities, medical, and other critical needs. We provide full-time food pantry services through our South Main Street pantry, a mobile food pantry, and we also do door-to-door home delivery service for individuals who are homebound or don't have adequate transportation. We also provide quality clothing for the entire family. So these 3 employees, these caseworkers, they interview clients, they assess their needs, actively advocate for them, and connect them to our P2P services, as well as outside support services that are available. And emergency financial assistance is always paid directly to the landlord or the vendor on behalf of the client. All of our caseworkers are bilingual and bicultural, and they speak either Spanish or Haitian Creole. So CDBG support is important because these programs are expanding. Agency-wide, we are now serving approximately 150 brand new client households every month. That doesn't include people who had services before and are coming back. About 40% of them are Norwalk residents.
30 seconds.
In calendar year, we provided about $60,000 more in emergency financial assistance in Norwalk, 27% more food, and we see that need continuing to grow into calendar year 2023. We added two mobile pantry stops in Norwalk, the Community Health Center and the East Norwalk Association Library. 100% of our clients are low income, and 89 are considered extremely low income. 93% are people of color, 56% female, and 36% children, 10% seniors. Thank you so much for considering our funding request.
And thank you very much as well for all the work you do. Okay, all right, moving on to number 18, serving all vessels equally.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present to you tonight on behalf of Serving All Vessels Equally Incorporated. My name is Roosevelt Ewell. I'm the CEO of Serving All Vessels Equally Incorporated. We've been in existence for now 16 years. Our mentors have made excellent progress in establishing relationship with their students, family, and the school to secure new paths for the student success. We have worked diligently to find additional mentors since the need is so great. We expanded our visibility and programming by adding peers, academic support service through a partnership with NCC, a weekly book club with the Norwalk High School Library, and a college tour series to include academic enrichment, SAT preparation, and pre-professor development. If we awarded the funds, was in tune of requested $30,000. If we awarded the funds would be used directly toward the cost of the salary for program coordinators for our programs, Check-in Connects and YC4J. Check-in Connect is an intervention used with K through 12 students who shows warning signs of disengagement with school and at risk of dropping out. The YC4J is a student-led initiative that engages the community for social justice and youth leadership. At the core of both programs, we are trusting relationship between the students and a caring, trained mentor who both advocates for and challenges the student to keep education at the forefront of their life. Students are referred to Check and Connect when they show warning signs such as poor attendance, behavior issues, and/or low grades. Also, data have shown that when our students attend our program, they have an increased their attendance in school and increase it in grade. This program is essential to our program. I'm V's person, the program coordinator, is essential to our
30
program
seconds.
growth and help us to expand the sustained current program. Presently, we have 10 students in college, and we have a 98% success rate for our graduating seniors to go to college. We truly thank you for your support and the opportunity to present to you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we move on, I just want to recognize committee member Brian Meek joined us at 6:55 p.m. Okay, number 19, the Rowan Center.
Hi, my name is Kate Guthrie. I am the Director of Development at the Rowan Center. Good evening to everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm here to respectfully request $50,000 for the Rowan Center's long-term and crisis therapy support for our low-income Norwalk residents. As a quick review, the Norwalk Center was founded in 1947 and has been in operation for over 40 years. Though we're located in Stamford, over a third of our clients are from Norwalk, and we are looking at Norwalk properties as well. We started out as a simple van set up outside the back of Stamford Hospital with the goal of helping each and every victim of sexual assault that we saw was missing important services. Today, we're actually a staff of 17 people with over 60 volunteers, serving 8 cities in town, including Norwalk, Stamford, Greenwich, Weston, Westport, New Canaan, Wilton, and Darien. There are 3 arms to the Rowan Center's services, all of which are offered for free: counseling, education, and advocacy. Counseling includes both crisis and long-term counseling for primary, secondary, and tertiary victims of sexual violence, offered in English, Spanish, French, and Haitian Creole. We also offer a text-to-chat hotline that is made available to the entire state of Connecticut with these same counselors through the Connecticut Alliance Against Sexual Violence. We also have the education arm of our services, which brings state-certified educators from the Rowan Center to all schools in our catchment area in grades K to 12. The teachings are a state mandate, and our educators are proud to have leveled each and every education to an appropriate level for our students. So, for example, in elementary school, we start with basic concepts such as empathy, my body, my choice, safe adults, and the safe and healthy rule. In middle school, we're talking about safety online, and in high school, you will find us talking about concepts related to relationships, consent, and preparation for college on your own. Finally, advocacy is our arm where we send our trained supporters to accompany victims to the police station, walk them through visits to the hospital for safe kits, or accompany them to court proceedings. And today I want to talk specifically about long-term counseling. As everyone is well aware, this year, many of our towns and cities have become aware of the mental health crisis that has been exacerbated by the pandemic. Unfortunately, with that, so has sexual violence. We've seen trafficking numbers go up and unfortunately, child sexual violence.
30 seconds.
In addition to our crisis counseling sessions, we have for the last year been looking to further launch our new long-term counseling program. This means we would be able to offer counseling beyond 12 emergency crisis counseling sessions. This program comes directly at the request from our current low-income clients and survivors, of which over 97% said they would be fully interested. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Guthrie. Very well said.
Thanks.
You have a good night.
You too.
Next up, item 20. Wheel it forward.
Hello, my name is Ed Spilka. I'm a founding board member at Wheel It Forward. Thank you for the opportunity to present, and thank you for your support last year. Wheel It Forward opened 2 years ago, and it's a free lending library of durable medical equipment, which is wheelchairs, hospital beds, rollators, shower chairs, etc. We're primarily a volunteer-run organization. DME is built to last 5 to 10 years, but is typically only used for 4 months at a time. We then collect this, keep it out of landfills, we sanitize it, and we distribute it. When the usage is finished, the individuals just return it to us and the process starts all over again. Our website is translated into 6 languages, and we use a state-of-the-art inventory management system. DME is proportionally 3 times more expensive than prescription drugs because of the lack of insurance coverage. We are a unique offering. There's really no one else in this area who does what we do in any meaningful way. Certain metrics. In the 2 years since we've opened, we've collected 70 tons of durable medical equipment. We've serviced 3,000 individuals throughout Fairfield County. Currently, 500 people a month reach out to us to either donate or to use equipment, and we continue to grow. We've saved those individuals close to $1.5 million. And finally, our expenses run just 20 cents for every dollar that we loan out. We are creating a provider network of PTs, OTs, discharge planners, hospital systems, and social service agencies. And we have about 200 participants in that. We service every town in the county, but Norwalk is our number 2 in terms of usage right after Stamford. We had 80% growth in Norwalk last year. We anticipate more growth this year, and we expect to serve 300 LMI individuals in Norwalk, and they'll probably borrow close to 1,000 items. Many LMI households are a single paycheck away from dire financial consequences. One of our main goals is to make certain that individuals can get what they need when they are injured at no cost, so that they can avoid the consequences of waiting for insurance to decide whether or not to cover that equipment that's needed. In a very tangible way, we provide stability and dignity to community members when they are at their most vulnerable. We are humbly requesting $25,000 this year. We thank you for your prior support and thank you for the opportunity to present.
Shanahan.
This is such an interesting program to me. How do people find you? Because I feel like if more people knew about you, more people would be using you.
And I think that's true. And I think the fact that we've had such rapid growth is because that's continuing. Again, you know, that network of 200 PTs, OTs, discharge planners, that's a big piece of it. You know, we've been in front of a lot of the social service agencies, but it's the sort of thing where you need to be top of mind. So we continue to do that. You know, we certainly have Facebook pages. We're on Nextdoor. You know, we're in a lot of the social media out there. And periodically we see that people will ask this sort of question, and it's gratifying to see 10 or 12 responses saying, go to Wheel It Forward, they're there, they need the help. So, you know, that's one of our challenges. But honestly, you know, we probably could go to newspapers and the like too. What we've been trying to do is manage our growth because we don't want to get overwhelmed all at once. And I think to this point, it's been working quite well, and we'll see where it goes from here.
So when you say overwhelmed at this point, are you concerned that there'll be just too much demand for?
Well, it could be. I mean, we certainly did not want to have a front page article in the New York Times because we just wouldn't be able to provide it. And it's important to note also, we've never said no to anybody who's come to us. We've always had this. On the very rare occasions when we're missing a piece, we'll go to eBay, we'll purchase it and provide it to them in that context, because it's just important to be able to be there for others. Many of these sorts of closets will say no, and then people don't begin to depend on you. So we think it's really important to say yes. And so far, we've been able to do that at 100% rate.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Spoker.
Thank you.
Okay, number 21, the Youth Business Initiative.
Hello, everyone. I'm always the last. My last name Wiggins. The organization, like, it's horrible. Hello, everyone. My name is Dewan Wiggins. I'm the executive director of the Youth Business Initiative. We're located in Norwalk. What the Youth Business Initiative, we teach young people business with a hands-on experience. We do that through workforce development, career development, business development, and entrepreneurship development. We're asking for you guys to fund the entrepreneurship program. This is our 3rd year. We've grown so much. In a sense of space, our first space was 700 square feet. Then we moved to 1,800 square feet. Now we moved to 8,000 square feet. Last year we were able to serve about 90 students. This year we can almost triple that, right? Because of the space and the real estate we obtained. So we grew pretty fast, but we still are small in the sense of staff. We still are small in the sense of funding and so on and so forth. So we were just blessed. We continue to be blessed in doing the work, but we really need support. Because if we don't, we eventually fade away, right? So I challenge our funders and people to really support us, because we're able to serve and gather youth that typically are not engaged, right? So we deal with a lot of disconnected and a lot of disengaged youth, which is, no one ever talks about the disconnected, right? We talk about the disengaged. So we were able to really tap into the disengaged and disconnected youth. But also, just for content purposes, we're also going to be able to serve adults at our new center, families and so on and so forth, right? A lot of our students have parents that's been incarcerated, that's incarcerated. So we're going to really tap into, the workforce and try to get, different adults jobs too. So that's just to really show you how much we've grown. And some of our partnerships, like Tristan mentioned, he's actually at our facility. We going to be offering dance. We're going to be offering creative writing. We're going to develop a newspaper, a youth newspaper, right? So much things that we're going to be able to do at this center. So obviously we didn't get it in time to really fund the center, but I just want to keep that in your ear for next year, because we really need your support. Just partnering with the city itself brings a lot of attention. So we was funded with you guys last year. We asked for a little more this year. If not, it's okay, but we do need your support, right? And I really appreciate the time. And we're really looking forward to a continuous partnership with you guys.
Can
I go, John? Sorry. So I'm curious about what it is that you're offering. Are you offering courses that are multi-week courses? Are they one-night courses, or what's the work that you're?
We offer so much. So our entrepreneurship program is 10 weeks throughout the summer, which our students basically, from everything from literally like market research, everything it takes to start a business. And at the end, some of our local councilmen was there. They have to do a Shark Tank event. And in this Shark Tank event, they showcase all the stuff that they have learned, and they actually have an opportunity to win some seed money to potentially start their business, right? So that's one of our programs, but we also have a workforce development program, which is also 10 weeks, and they do, resume building, mock interviews, and all those things to be successful in the workforce. Business development, what we're doing right now is really creating real businesses with the young people. And we partner with the Norwalk Chamber of Commerce to actually do another event for that. So, those are some of our programs, but we partner with Positive Direction. We have a girls program, a boys program, and a smart recovery program that's located at our facility. And we have a therapist actually from Positive Direction that come in, and we spend about an hour and a half. They stay longer, but about an hour and a half doing, therapeutic stuff. So we do a lot. Trust me, we do a lot.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Wiggins.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, the Norwalk Redevelopment Agency. I believe we have Mr. Badoli here to speak.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. How you doing?
Very well, sir. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Well, so yes, as you said, last but not least, we're here to talk about our planning and admin dollars that we come forward for every year. This is really to provide the service for the overall program. So that includes a lot of different things. That includes sort of the overall planning for any work that we need to do in terms of the programming, putting together all the summary sheets, making sure that all of our documents are in order with HUD, accounting, direct costs of software and any consulting services that we need to help with all the, various reporting, and ultimately just keeping Norwalk in the good graces of HUD and the federal government. So this really goes to staff time and just all the support we provide for the CDBG program.
Okay.
Brian, there are two items there, aren't there? At least two items on our list.
Which ones? I'm sorry.
I mean, there's 22 and 23. Are those?
I don't have your specific list in front of.
Well, admin and then city neighborhood.
Yeah, city neighborhoods is a project-based account, so that goes for like the directly public infrastructure facilities. So there's more direct costs, whereas the project attributable costs, whereas the planning and admin is our general admin money that goes to finance and everything. So
they're both for your costs, right?
Yeah, they're in terms of the cost. One's for specific projects, less staff time, more like direct consulting stuff, and then the other one is the planning and admin, which is our sort of general account.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yep.
Sure. Someone said it before. They wish everyone could get funding, and that's always been the case. I wish we had money to spread and everyone could get everything they're asking for. Just to kind of put it in perspective, on the facility side, we've got a deficit of over $200,000, and on the service side, a deficit of over almost 293,000. So we've got some tough decisions to make. So I'm just relaying this to the committee members who, I believe all of you have gone through it before, where you'll be asked to provide your choices, and we'll compile all that and get that out and do that all. I guess, Mr. Bedolia, are we going to be doing this at the next planning committee, or excuse me, economic community development meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone plan on doing that at the March meeting. In the interim, put some thought into your choices, and you'll be getting an email shortly to that effect. Okay, thank you everyone that came out. All the applicants, you all did a great job. And moving on to item A2, and that is to authorize Mayor Harry W. Rilling to execute an agreement for the use of $150,000 of American Rescue Plan Act funds for P3 advisory services to be provided by Infrastructure Advisors, LLC, and to be administered by the Norwalk Redevelopment Agency to the Webster Street Lot Project. And the account number to be decided. Would someone like to move that item? Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Mr. Bedolia, will you be speaking to this item?
Yes, I will be. Just give me 1 second here. Just changing gears here on the PDF. Okay, so yeah, so basically what we have before you tonight is related to the Webster Lot redevelopment project. And one of the things that we wanted to do, given the scale and significance of the project, we're talking about a $250 to $300 million investment in the community, is really have some outside services for technical review of what we're looking at, both in terms of the finances, but also any sort of state assistance and grant packages and economic impacts of the overall project. So I'll talk a little bit about the technical components of what the work that they're going to be doing is. The first task is for them to review the proposal of the selected developer and do an audit of the developer's financials and their pro forma. Really wanted to make sure that we test the mathematical integrity and accuracy of the model, making sure that we're looking at the market and understanding the inputs and assumptions that they're making, that they're on board with what is expected in the market. So we're not leaving any money on the table ultimately. The second task is for them to kind of really analyze risks and policy objectives for the city. So they're going to be able to provide a report to us, taking a look at the financial considerations of the projects, the various scenarios that we're working with in terms of affordable housing, conduct sensitivity analyses. So basically saying, if we move, towards more affordable housing, what impact is that going to have, and having a third party to kind of weigh in. So we're not just relying on information provided by the developer. The third task is going to be taking a look at potential grant funding opportunities and various public-private financing strategies. This is related, obviously, to the overall transaction. It is a public-private partnership, and we want to make sure that we're kind of leveraging external funding opportunities as appropriate, whether that be grants or various attractive debt structures. The fourth task is going to be a straight-ahead economic impact analysis. We're going to assess the activities, types, and measures of the construction and the development. You doing an in-plan model, which is sort of the industry standard to estimate the sort of local and regional impact of the project, both from a property tax perspective, but other dimensions that will be evaluated from an economic perspective, and that'll be provided to you all, as we get through the program and land disposition agreement process. One of the things that we wanted to make sure, recognizing that we're talking about the disposition of a city-owned asset, is what that means for the Norwalk Parking Authority from a financial perspective and how best to balance that. So they're going to help us navigate that. Taking a look at the overall Norwalk Parking Authority portfolio, how Webster fits within that context and what impacts it may have if we are selling that specific asset. And then providing a final report that will be available for presentation to you all as part of the LDA discussions. So really, what we're trying to do is provide ourselves with some third-party support. This is a very large project, it's a very high-impact project. We want to make sure we get it right. And I think the more data, the better. So what we're proposing, or what the city has proposed, is the use of $150,000 in ARPA funds to do that. Obviously, recognizing in relation to the scale of the $250–300 million development, just wanting to make sure that we have everything, locked up and in order as we're making recommendations to you all moving forward. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
I guess you answered all the questions yourself, Mr. Bedoli. Okay, seeing no questions, all in favor, please raise your hand to signify yes. No. Let the record show Mr. Meek voted no. The motion passes. Okay, item 2B. Planning and zoning. That's to authorize the Mayor Harry W. Rowan to execute a contract with the Wanderlust Group, Inc. for DACWA subscription services for 1 year in the amount not to exceed $2,000 with a 5-year renewal option, account number noted. I recognize this name. I believe we have Mr. Kibbe here with us this evening.
Yes, is Amelia on the?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, I'm Amelia Williams. I am the land use planner in the Planning and Zoning Department, and I'm also the city staff to the Harbor Commission, who Alan is the chair of the Finance Committee. And they're looking to enact DACWA, which is a dockage software system. It is an upgrade from what we currently have, and the city actually already uses it. The 5 Mile River Commission uses it. So we're testing it out pretty much for a year to see if it's something we want to stick with permanently. And Alan can definitely speak more thoroughly about DACWA and answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Amelia. DACWA is a software service platform that offers reservation services, and it facilitates fee collections for marine slips, dock space, and moorings. Beyond the taking of reservations, billing transit boaters, and depositing funds with the city of Norwalk, DACWA's website also serves a marketing purpose, including information about the destination, locations of services, and activities ashore. DACWA retains 3.5% of the mooring rental charge for its service. Unless you're an active boater in the region, you're probably not aware that a large number of recreational boaters, although I do see some nice waterfront backgrounds there behind your visages. But a large number of recreational boaters visit other communities with their vessels for tourism or to get a meal at a waterfront restaurant during the warmer months. Stamford, Bridgeport, and Milford are popular marine destinations on the Connecticut shore. Port Jefferson, Northport, Cold Spring, and Oyster Bay on the New York side of the Long Island Sound are good stops for dining and sightseeing. Of course, one needs a place to park one's boat in order to enjoy the destination. One of the projects the Norwalk Harbor Commission is undertaking is to install transient moorings in Norwalk Harbor for visiting boaters in order to enhance the use of our harbor for the benefit of our community. Norwalk offers a variety of direct waterfront restaurants, a vibrant social district on Washington Street, a world-class maritime aquarium, Stepping Stones Museum for kids, and an upscale shopping destination, all within walking distance of our waterfront. Norwalk also offers the Seaport Association Lighthouse Museum on Sheffield Island, as well as a number of inviting anchorages amongst the Norwalk Islands. Over time, all of these could become locations for Norwalk transit moorings as the program becomes successful. A mooring differs from a dock or a slip in that it is simply a permanently installed anchor with no connection to land. Boaters using moorings bring their own dinghies for going ashore. In this region, an overnight stay in a mooring costs from $50 to $75 a night. Overnight slip rentals run from $2.50 to $4 per foot of vessel length per night. So many boaters prefer to take a mooring instead of a slip. Some harbors with large numbers of moorings eventually spawn entrepreneurial water taxi services. The Harbor Commission has budgeted funds from its mooring permit revenue to pay DACWA's annual fee. Our request is to authorize an agreement with DACWA renewable annually at the discretion of the Harbor Management Commission at a cost not to exceed $2,000 each year. Thank you, Chairman Cardes. I'll yield back for questions.
Mr. Livingston.
Yeah, thanks. What are you guys doing now?
We don't have transit moorings.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No. Well, we put in 2 last year at middle of the season, and we were unable to get our DACWA approval to manage them that way. DACWA provides us a way of marketing those transit moorings. It's a platform. If you go there, go to DACWA.com and say you want to go to Connecticut, it'll list all the communities in Connecticut. You can pick Norwalk, and it'll have all the available dock and mooring facilities.
So will it include private docks or just the mooring?
We will just have our Norwalk transit moorings provided by the Harbor Management Commission.
So just 2 of them or more?
There are 2 now. We're looking to add 4 this year to make 6.
Good. I've heard good things about these guys. So anyway, DACWA. So, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just when I was briefed on this earlier this week or last week, I thought it was a great idea, and I commend the Harbor Commission for taking the initiative. Any other questions? Okay, someone like to move this item? Mr. Livingston, great. All in favor? And that is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, next up, item C, Transportation, Mobility, and Parking. Authorize Mayor Harry W. Rilling to execute an on-call contract with Karen and Fazio LLC for appraisal services in an amount not to exceed $10,000. Count number noted. Someone like to move that item? Thank you, Ms. Smith. Okay, who will be speaking to this item?
Thank you, Mr. Cuddy's Garrett Bilala. So I'll be speaking to this item tonight. And good evening, council members. So I wanted to take this opportunity to just talk briefly about the larger context of this project. But first, I wanted to introduce another member of our team who's on the call tonight, Troy Deering. He's one of our project managers, and he will be overseeing the contract that's before you tonight, as well as he's responsible for a number of the sidewalk projects throughout the city. So we're really fortunate to have him. And I'll just speak briefly, but then I'll let him talk a little bit more about the scope of the RFP and the specific project that's identified as phase 1. But this request for the on-call appraisal for a certified general appraiser and a certified residential appraiser, it really came about to assist the department in the planning and design of sidewalks throughout the city and through a number of different funding sources. We have ARPA funding, MLK funding, other grant funding, and then city funding to build out sidewalks. but really to ensure that we design and construct the best sidewalks and the best end product, and we really account for ADA requirements and public rights of way and accessibility guidelines. We often encounter properties or situations where we need some minor rights of way, we need easements, or we need temporary construction easements. So we worked really closely with the legal department to help develop a process and this RFP to meet federal, state, local funding requirements, but also meet requirements of the Connecticut Department of Transportation and to provide appraisals within their format. But what this really allows us to do is just streamline our design and planning of sidewalks throughout the city. So I'll let Troy take it away from here.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Yeah, as Garrett said, we've been working very closely with our legal team through the early stages of development on this. We are in nearing the final stages of advancing the plans on this project, which is the Rowayton Avenue sidewalk project. It is going to be a new installation of sidewalks going from the village proper of Rowayton, leading around the state portion of the road and going up to the Rowayton train station. Now, this is a heavily trafficked foot traffic area now by residents, but as it sits, it's rather unsafe. There's no actual sidewalk for people to walk on. And then there is some rather scary bends that people are navigating without the proper facilities there. As we went through the planning stages on this, we did come across a few number of properties that would require small easements. Now, those are only ranging within 0 to 4 feet into a property at the most. So working very closely with the legal team, we did realize that we would have to go through these easement steps. And one of those is going to be getting an appraisal on that property prior to construction and also after construction. Now, we have high hopes that from past experience and from what this will be bringing to the residents, that these sidewalks will not be a detriment to anyone's property. They'll actually be providing better walk scores and overall more value to that property. Being able to connect from Rowayton Avenue down to the village, it can only bring benefit to the community, not only through safety, but also community engagement.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. So we did put this out to bid, and we did receive only one response. It was Karen and Fazio. We did hear from the legal department that based on their previous experiences, they had a positive experience with that appraisal company.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Livingston.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to add, I know Garrett and Troy have worked really hard on this with Jim. Yeah, they mentioned the Rowayton Avenue project, but also the goal of this, as I understand it, is that if this works, they'll be able to use it all around the city to help facilitate the construction of more sidewalks. So it's a really important step in that direction.
Correct. Yeah, getting an appraiser like this on board will help streamline the process. If we do ever run into an easement scenario again, we can immediately expect to incorporate it into our planning process and get them on a schedule to facilitate those appraisals as part of the early stages, so that it would never have to hold up anything in the future.
Mrs. Shanahan.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the TMP department for taking this project on. Mr. Livingston's this has been his dream for 8 years, and you guys are finally realizing it. And it's really important for the village of Rowayton to connect the village to the train station, because as Garrett was saying, I mean, there's some hair-raising turns on that road. So thank you very much. I know that you're gonna have to take extra steps to execute this, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other.
I see
It
Jessica.
looks like Jessica's hand is up.
Yeah,
Oh.
Chairman Kennedy, sorry, guys, I just wanted to add that, to Tom's point, it's gonna actually help us with a lot of the other sidewalk projects as well. And so, as you know, we have, hundreds of thousands at this point dedicated to sidewalks. And one of the largest obstacles that we have is right-of-way and easement requirement, and trying to figure out sort of what neighbors are willing to do and how they're willing to do it. But I think that, I'm just kind of looking around my Zoom screen and seeing all of the districts in which you represent, and all of the sidewalks that we're talking about are in each person's district, right? So, I think that it really is a citywide effort, and although Rowayton is first. And looking at Darlene with the MLK corridor and all of the funding that we put into sidewalks for that particular initiative, and the South Norwalk School and how we put in $1.5 million for sidewalks to the school just in that neighborhood alone. So, just thinking about that piece, and obviously David with Wall Street, and thinking about the Wall Street reconstruction and how the sidewalks are going to be reconfigured in that neighborhood as well. So I just wanted to reiterate Tom's point.
Mr. Hubelman.
Thank you, Chairman Kites. Yeah, just the fact that we're doing this and that we're looking at it from a, looking forward to the future and the ability, especially with kids being able to walk to school. I can't stress it enough that to make that safe is such an important piece of this puzzle. And I'm glad that we're taking steps to ensure that we're on that path. So thank you, guys.
Okay. Going once. All right, so the item has been moved. All in favor, please raise your hand to signify yes. Noes? Let the record show Mr. Meek has voted no. The motion passes. Okay, seeing no other items on the agenda, and it's been quite a long night. I will now call for a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Meek. And all that motion passes. Everyone have a great night and a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.